The public sphere is no longer considered a unitary space. It was never entered and used uniformly. Differences of class and gender, of course. And artworks had different conceptions and significations that were read in different ways. So that's why we will talk now of a fragmentation or differentiation of the public space on the one hand, and as we know, this strange double movement within art production itself, which was on the one hand an expanded field of artistic practice, as it's known, an expansion of what is art, and on the other hand a dematerialization of artworks, so that artworks also stop being material in this kind of sculptural sense. So this strange double movement means that we have, different understanding of the public. It's no longer unitary, and we have different understandings of the work, of the artwork. So perhaps we can say that both have been dematerialized to some extent. So this means, in the postmodern era, probably should have in the modernist era as well, it's arguable, that the kind of communicative possibilities and methods for an artwork has to be renegotiated. So neither the form of the artwork, the context of the artwork, nor the potential spectators of the artwork is fixed or stable. And they can be conceived in kind of multiple terms rather than in terms of the singular. So on the one hand, the artwork itself, as I said, is kind of separated from its traditional forms and contexts, but then it perhaps becomes dependent on another set of notions, another set of parameters that I have tried to describe as spaces of experience, which really means notions of spectatorship and networks around the artwork that are kind of dependent on, let's say, contingency and specificity. So it means that there are very different points of departure in terms of the spectator. And the gaze of the spectator is not just dependent on the work and where the work is placed, but also where the spectator is placed in terms of the spectator's age, the spectator's class, ethnic background, gender, but also this person's politics, this person's imagination. This is what, broadly speaking, can be called experience and intentionality. So I've tried to argue that we should speak of three variable categories when talking about public artworks today, namely work, context, and spectator. So rather than a dualistic model, we have to have a triad. None of them are given. They are often in conflict with each other. We could even call their relationship agonistic.